Hey, what's up, guys? Boxing with B.
A-Rod Without The Paycheck.
All right, so we're not in the studio, so this is just a quick, raw video, but we just want to talk about the fights this weekend. Let's start with DAZN. So on DAZN, we were supposed to see Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Mckinson. We didn't see that fight because Vergil, due to health reasons, he was out. And then we were supposed to see Mckinson versus I forgot who, but then something happened with that last-minute replacement, and then we got another replacement.
Some of these guys are not prepared. Some aren't prepared in the gym, but not prepared for weight. So you have to take that in consideration. The last-minute calls, yeah, they want to accept because they want to be aired, national TV and everything. But it just sometimes it can't happen. That's
true. So, anyways, we saw all that go down, whatever. So, long story short, Mckinson fought against Martin. Martin put on a show to the point where this is a last-minute call-up. You go to decision against a guy that was preparing for a hard fight against Vergil Ortiz. Now, in my opinion, I had said this before. I think this happened, this fight, this matchup between Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Mckinson happened because basically, what's the other name in that division out there? It's Conor Benn. And Conor Benn, they don't want to throw out there before, they see if he can handle it. Let's see how Mckinson, who's undefeated, let's send him out there against Vergil. Let's see how he looks first. Then we'll consider Conor Benn. That's how I think they played it. In my opinion, I think Mckinson got lucky that Vergil
got hurt. Oh, got ill.
Couldn't take this fight last minute. Because the way he looked in that ring, if he performs like that, I don't know if the mentality was, I don't have Vergil in front of me anymore, so I'm going to change my game plan, or I don't have to go as hard. I don't know if that even changed, or if that's just the fight that we were going to see, the performance we were going to see against Vergil. But if that happens, if he went in there like that against Vergil, he has no chance. I'm sorry to say, no disrespect to Mckinson.
Vergil's on top of the world.
Different levels.
He's a good fighter.
So anyways, I guess things happened, but it kind of worked for Mckinson that it didn't play out that way. Anyways, would you even want to see Mckinson take that fight against Vergil once Vergil gets healthy?
Yeah, of course. Why not? I would.
After that performance?
Doesn't matter. The opponents made fights.
That's true, but honestly, I just think he's going to take
everybody was saying about Usyk. Usyk moved up to heavyweight. Oh, look, he doesn't look good. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. They give him the belt, the title shot of the belt. Joshua showed what he is. A paper champion, a glass jaw guy. He fought a guy from a light heavyweight that he was twice his size and couldn't do nothing. Usyk came out of nowhere and showed why he's there.
I think that's definitely true. It does make a difference when you have a different opponent. Your mindset is different. But I think ultimately, I just think Vergil will take Mckinson's undefeated record away.
Yeah, he will, but I'm just saying it's still a box. You never know.
Let's talk about that main event between Alexis Rocha and Blair Cobbs. I think everybody, well, not everyone, a lot of people in the boxing world were focused on the top-ranked card, right? Expecting Berlanga to put on this great show, put on this explosive show. But I think if you tuned into Rocha versus Cobbs, that was explosive.
That was a fight.
That was a war. That was a fight that stole the night, I think.
It reminded me of Rocha's trainer cussing him out and everything. It reminded me of when Klitschko was fighting against Samuel Peterson, and Klitschko started trying to become a powerhouse like he usually was instead of boxing. And Emmanuel, what the fuck did I just tell you? You are not that. You are a boxer. And it changed the world. To what it is, what he became, a great champion that nobody could beat for the longest time. I think it was 10 years that they held the belts.
Look, I just think that having the right trainer in your corner really does make a difference.
Oh, it pushes you.
For sure, because sometimes you get those trainers that maybe they're just like, I need to see more, but no other instruction. No. I need to see more, or, you're not doing so great. Come on, pick it up. What are you doing? Wake up. It's like, no, you need to go in there and say, this is what you're doing wrong. You need to do this.
You need to listen. I'm the trainer. You're the fighter. If you want to win, this is why I make champions.
And you know what? We see that a lot with a lot of trainers, obviously. I'm not going to discredit them, but the one that comes to mind for me is Robert Garcia.
He's another good
trainer. I think a lot of the times he'll be like, what are you doing? Do this. And you actually see him. Sometimes he gets so into these fights that you'll see him mimicking what they're supposed to do. Put your hands up, throw this,
he
throw
was a
that.
fighter.
And so it's like
he sees two versions when he was a fighter and now that he's a trainer.
His trainer told him exactly what he needed to say or he needed to hear in between those rounds.
Get it done.
And then we saw Alexis Rocha listen to him, go in there and change it up. Like, what are you doing?
The other kid was there. He was shooting back, hitting him hard too. It was a good fight until he got hurt.
Yeah, definitely. But if you tuned into that one, you tuned into a good fight. All right, so moving on to the Top Rank card. I don't think it lived up to what DAZN did that night. Not that, sometimes, and honestly, I guess DAZN always has some issues, I would say. Like, I always have audio issues and stuff like that. But as far as the fights, I think DAZN won that night because of Rocha. Because of Rocha and Cobbs. They put on a great performance and they won the fight card, I would say, compared to Berlanga versus Rolls. Rolls looks like age caught up to him.
Yeah, plus he was a smaller fighter coming up a weight class. I don't know if it was 1 or 2 weight class to fight this guy.
And Berlanga being 24, I mean...
Power knocking everybody out his first 16 fights.
But look, I honestly think they blew him up too fast. High expectations. But when you're starting out your career and they give you, like, these fighters with more losses or things like that, it's expected, but you're doing that for experience, right? You're growing these fighters for experience. But the fact that he got so much attention outside of the ring, it kind of got to him.
Well, he got to him thinking he was going to be the next Mike Tyson for this weight class, which I don't think I never saw it. I saw him as a good fighter, but never got tested by someone that hits back. He still never got tested yet. Yeah. Because that middleweight that he's in is really well stacked.
The only one that tested him was the last fight so far. It was against Argentino, Coceres.
Yeah, he took
Marcelo Coceres. Well,
10 rounds, I'm sorry, 10 rounds.
But he dropped him. He dropped Berlanga. Berlanga puts his hands down. And we know what? We saw that in this fight, too, against Rolls. He looks for just that big punch, and he admitted at the end he was trying to do that. But it's like, you have to adjust. Great champions adjust. So in order to get to that level, he has to learn how to adjust. He's 24, yes. I think, like I said, they're blowing him up too fast. So people are outside of the ring kind of just like, oh, he's this, he needs to get the knockouts, this and that. But if we just focus on his career alone, his boxing career, hey, there's still hope. There's still hope for this kid. He just has to focus on boxing.
Yep.
Focus on boxing. You have power. You can't deny that. The kid has power, but he has to change his fight style. He needs to learn how to jab. He needs to move.
Follow the philosophy of great Floyd Mayweather. Hard work, dedication. Give up the parties. Give up the alcohol. Give up all that. Concentrate on your future. Concentrate on your boxing.
If that's what you want.
If you want to become one of the greatest, become the greatest. Then you can do whatever you want, but make it there first.
Definitely. I think a lot of the times, we don't have to go into this, but with the younger fighters, it's hard to find one that's focused on boxing. Well, and you know what?
There's one in our time that was great other than Floyd.
Yeah, but I'm talking about now.
Lomachenko.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm talking about like the younger generations right now. And I can name the two right away that come to mind.
Me too.
Who?
The guys from Texas, the 2 kids.
Yes. Franco and Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Because
kids.
You don't really hear them talking outside the ring. You don't hear them partying. I mean, maybe they do. But it's not the focus.
Yeah, they're not getting
they're not
getting out of hand.
And the focus is that they've been working, and then they got the opportunity and they shined.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. And we need more fighters like that. We had mentioned like a few, I mean, it's been a long time now, but we had mentioned like Mikey. Like Mikey is like, when he took that fight with Errol Spence, that's when we talked about him. When we were like, Mikey Garcia, there's not that many fighters like him anymore where the opportunity comes and they're like, I want to be a legend. I want to be remembered as the best ever. You know, that they'll make a legacy for themselves. And he had mentioned that. And look at these 2 fighters, where are they at? RGBA.
Yeah, Robert Garcia Academy.
They see the examples there, they live up to it. I mean, they made the most out of the opportunity that was presented to them. So that's what I'm saying.
What did I call them? The little Klitschko's.
Everyone's calling them the Klitschko's now of this division.
Yep.
But you know what? This is the thing, is the younger generations, I mean, it is my generation. I'm going to go there. It is my generation.
Not mine. Mine were real fighters. Mine didn't duck nobody.
Hey, we got some too, okay?
Nobody ducked nobody. Everybody fought. Durant fought. Sugar Ray fought. Hearns. Morris Hagler. They all fought. Even
I am not denying that.
Chavez Sr., Pernell Whitaker. Everybody. Maverick Taylor. Heavyweights. Mike Tyson fought everybody. Nobody ducked nobody. Everybody fought. Everybody, when they said Duran versus Hearns, it happened. None of the, you know what?
Okay, well, that part...
I don't test for blood. I don't do this. I don't do that. And then you got the old man came back, gave everybody the opportunity. He became one of the oldest heavyweight champions of the world, George Foreman. Great fighter. Great fighter in his time. Great fighter as he was old. He was humble.
Okay, look, you're trying to argue here about old versus new and stuff, and I can't even fight back because I'm not going to fight back against that. That's history. Those are legends. Like, they're exceptional. But boxing is not over. I don't care what people say boxing is dead. It's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not dead.
History is still going. And for the
Here's a good one. If boxing's dead, why do all these UFC fighters that are just wrestlers and jiu-jitsus that are great at their sport, why do they want to come out and fight the boxers? Why? If boxing's dead.
That's where the money's at.
That's where the money's at. No one guy owns you. No one guy tells you what to do. This is what you're going to get paid, and that's it.
Well,
he let one guy loose, Conor McGregor, and McGregor saw the opportunity what boxers make.
Now they're all seeing that. They're all seeing that.
Yeah.
But as far as the whole old and new, we can't deny it, yeah. But as the younger generations, it's not everybody because social media has changed the game. It changed the mindset of a lot of young fighters. But at the same time, we can't discredit that there are a lot of young talent that is out there and they are the legit fighters. It's still out there. You can't. It's just that the media kind of blew up all the ones that want the, I guess, the, what is it, the fame, the media fame.
The one who started screwing up boxing too that had a big was a Canadian guy. The guy that almost got killed in the ring that I didn't like. They called him Superman.
Oh, Stevenson.
Stevenson. He ducked Kovalov. He ducked everybody. He said, I'm the linear champion. I'm this, I'm that. Fought nobodies. He fought not all nobodies, but because he fought that contender from Poland that Fanfara. Fanfara dropped him and everything. But he still took it. Stevenson took it still, but I didn't like it because he ducked everybody. He ducked them. They even cornered him, but Harkavy, it's going to happen. It never happened. Then he fought an upcoming guy that nobody knew about that had power. Poor guy almost killed him. I didn't wish that upon him. I wish that he lost the belt, fair and square. But the way he lost it, almost lost his life. And no way. I don't wish that upon nobody.
No, for sure.
He made it back, and he has a family to support and everything. But he's no longer going to be a fighter no more. But he held the reign as a WBC, the linear champion. But he was one of those guys. He was one of those guys that ducked all the good fighters.
Yeah, I remember that because Kovalev called him out and all that.
I think that's where he blew it too, because he would have made a lot more money if those fights would have happened.
But if those fights would have happened, he might not have been at the top.
But it doesn't matter. He would have had money like the heavyweight guy, Joshua.
True.
He has millions because he.
But you know what? We went on a big tangent talking about this fight, Berlanga versus Rolls. It was, as little words to say.
Boring.
Yeah. It was boring, especially because Rocha versus Cobbs was right before that, and it brought everybody up, and then you tune into Berlanga, and it was not what
people expected.
What people wanted to see. But you know what? If it would have gone to decision and we would have seen Berlanga toying with Rolls, using the jab, boxing, changing it up, then he would have gotten more credit.
He was a lot bigger than that kid.
But the fact that he was getting tagged by Rolls, who is 37, look at when Rolls fought Golovkin. Golovkin, he kind of looked like he was landing the jab on Golovkin the first, round or two. And then after that, he made those adjustments. And once he made those adjustments, he knocked him out.
You know who would be a good fight for Berlanga?
Oh.
Rosado.
Yeah, that's what I actually saw on Twitter. Someone had mentioned that they were like, what if we saw... what if we saw Berlanga versus Rosado? And I'm like,
that'd be a hell of a fight. It would be a hell of a fight because Rosado brings the fight.
Rosado would beat him.
Yeah, but you never know. You never know. Maybe the other kid, Berlanga's the best will come out of him when he's fighting a better fighter.
Puerto Rican versus Puerto Rican.
There's that other guy that fought in the other card of, I think, the Zone. He's trained by Joel Diaz. He got knocked out. The guy that Rosado knocked out.
Yeah. That'd
be a good one for Berlanga. Hey, this is an upcoming fighter that got knocked out.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I doubt Berlanga was going to fight these guys.
The only thing is that he kind of fought a little timid because of that. That kind of, but you know what? Yeah, for sure it would be a good fight, but I don't think Berlanga is ready for any of these fighters yet.
Well, they made him sound like he's ready 16-0 and he's fighting these guys.
That's what I'm saying. They got to focus in the ring, not outside the ring. Well, everything is a learning experience, so if he learns from it, that's when it counts. If you don't learn from your mistakes, then you're not going to grow. Yeah, that's the thing. Xander Zayas, the younger one from Puerto Rico, that kid, I think, deserves more attention. He put on a great performance. I mean, he's explosive, he's fast, but he's young. He still has a lot to learn, but he is. I think he made a good fight. I just hope that they don't blow him up like they blew up Berlanga. Take your time, kid. You literally have time. I think he's like 19.
Well, take your time, you guys. You know, the problem is you got great champions, you know. I thought Tito was a great champion for a while, but then I learned some things I don't like. You could be just like Miguel Cotto, a great Puerto Rican fighter, a great fighter. He didn't duck nobody. He fought everybody. Yeah. He was a good fighter. Yeah. And credit to him, he took the loss. Even when Margarito with the cheating motherfucker that almost killed him, cutting him out, he didn't give up. He didn't get knocked down. He just couldn't see no more because all the cuts that he got over his, he could not see. Yeah. So he went down to one knee. Because he could not see the punches coming. Too much blood was coming in his eyes. I couldn't say that he got knocked out. No, he went like a man and said, okay, this guy, I can't see. I can't fight this guy if I can't see. Yeah. And he was beating Margarito, but then like everybody said, he even said, this guy was getting stronger by the minute. He was hitting harder. Well, the wraps were getting stronger.
They were hardening.
They were hardening up, and it hardened all over Cotto's face. And Cotto, great champion. He took everything, was giving it, but he just couldn't see.
Well, I mean, that's all for this talk. Be sure to tune into the next video.
Lights out.